Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. My name is Kristin. I am one of the account managers on the SportsEngine Motion team. We are going to go through everything billing today. So one important thing to know with this Billing Manager webinar, all of this information you're seeing on this website is not real. It is fake. This is a fake organization. So don't worry about seeing anybody's true financials. With that disclaimer, demonstration sites sometimes have some really weird information on it. So just that quick disclaimer. So we are going to log in and make our way to the back office so we can get under Billing Manager. So this section should look familiar to everybody, right? This is your billing hub. This is where you're going to manage all of your finances. We are going to start in this billing setup area. This section should have been covered right when you got started with SportsEngine Motion, but it's always good to come double check that. These settings can get changed at any time, and what was good for you 6 months ago, a year ago, or plus might not be great for you now. So always double check this and make sure these settings are what is the best fit of your organization. So a couple highlights on this general tab. We usually recommend that you have use unapplied payment automatically. This means anytime someone has an overpayment or credit sitting on their account, as new charges are added, it automatically gets eaten up. So we do recommend this just to save you admin work. Down here, depending on state laws or policies, right, you can pass off those credit card processing fees. I do find about half the people like to pass them off and the other half like to bake it in. So that's always an option too. But if you ever change your mind, remember you can put whatever you want in here. If you want to do a $5 fee and no percentage, you can do that too. It is really up to you how you want to pass that fee off. All right, let's switch that back. I want to leave it exactly how it was. All right, parent on-demand payments. If you do want parents to be able to go and make payments, right, make sure this is flipped on. Few options in here too. Full balance only means if they have a $1,000 balance, that's their only option to pay you via credit card is the full $1,000. Auto apply is going to mean that it's always going to default to their oldest bill on their account. They will not have control over where the money goes. It just applies to the oldest charges on the account. Or full control means they could put that money towards any charge on their account, or even 60% on this charge, 40% on this charge. They have control exactly where that money is going. Then just a couple other things down here too. Again, if any invoice notes that you may want, right? Some really fancy ones with testing. Your accounting method, make sure you talk to your accountant on what is best for you. And anytime you're issuing refunds, just to have that charge category set. So speaking of charge categories, this is where you can add new ones at any time. I compare charge categories to your target receipt. Remember, you get those target receipts, and this is what I bought under groceries, and this is what I bought under home goods and clothing, or holiday decorations, whatever it may be. So that is what Target is doing to classify how much money they've brought in their different areas of business. So that's exactly what this stuff is for you too. If you find I no longer need certain categories, you can come disable them by just hitting the little I. You see you get it disabled and it's crossed out. So it will no longer show in your drop downs, but it is still back here for you to reactivate it if you need to, or for any future reporting. If a category has been used, it can no longer be deleted because that would mess with your financial reporting. But to add new ones, you just click that add new, name it whatever you want, and you hit save. So again, very good to do so you can track how your money is coming in to the business. I do have a question in here already. Does it change past charges? So it would not go change if the charge has already been assigned to a particular category. It does not update that. It would only be anything moving forward. So you definitely want to make a note, like if you come edit birthday parties to say something else, all the charges from the past would still be under birthday parties, and then all charges moving forward would be under that new category name. Your due plan. This is how your organization is going to collect money. So if you want to try to auto collect once a month, we usually recommend a monthly roll up. So in this case, I just want to highlight that this says the 5th. So any new charges added to someone's account would automatically default to the following month on the 5th in this case. If you want to try to auto collect multiple times per month, We recommend days after charge date. So this can be really good for some of you all-star organizations that do like to do tuition on the 1st and like competitive fees on the 15th, right? If you do this, it would auto collect, let's say, 3 days after the charge is issued. You can absolutely do 0 days if you want it to all be on the same day. Or this could be really good if some of you guys are doing recreation fees on one day and then competitive fees on another. Again, so this is the one up here is really good if you want to be able to auto collect multiple days during the month. If you just want to try to auto collect once per month, right, you just pick the date you would like that auto payment to happen on. So again, I just want to reference the 5th here because this will come back as we go look at an account and add charges and stuff to people's accounts. Late fees. A few things about late fees. One, we cannot delete a late fee. If the Johnson family gets a late fee on their account, the only way to get rid of it is to issue a credit. So late fees is all or nothing, right? We can't also say the Johnson family is exempt from late fees. It's organization-wide or not. And then when you set up late fees, you're going to read this whole page like a book. So right now the late fee for me on this account is $0, but let's say I have a $10 late fee. If that account is at least $50 overdue. The reason why I personally like this overdue is, let's say someone put a $10 t-shirt on their account and they didn't pay it. I don't want a $10 late fee on that $10 charge. That seems so silly. So I usually recommend put in this minimum overdue charge and put in whatever your lowest month tuition is. So that way they have to at least be 1 month tuition overdue before a late fee occurs. So the amount I want to charge, the minimum they're overdue, how often do I want that charge to happen? In this case, again, I just want it once per month and I want it to be on the 21st. So while my due date is the 5th, if they still haven't paid until the 21st, then I have a $10 flat fee that's getting added onto their account. If I were to choose this option, I would have a $10 late fee added on the 21st for every charge on my account that's overdue. So if I had 3 kids, and they each had their own charge for tuition, and every single one of those kids was overdue, that means I'd have $30 in late fees because the charge was for each kid that was overdue, each charge. So this one is definitely more extreme, right? If you chose to do each one. So again, usually recommend flat fee. And then it's saying I want to try to auto collect this particular $10 7 days after it's added to the account. You also would have the option to do this days past due date. So maybe if I'm 5 days late, right, no matter when my due date was, 5 days past due, I would have a $10 charge added on and it would try to auto collect 7 days later. So just going to pause again, see if anyone has any questions about late fees and how you set this up. Definitely easier if you go ahead and read it like a book on what you want to do. I got a thumbs up from somebody, so I'm going to keep moving on. Wallet, this setting area is how you want your accounts to be set up. This is exactly what we recommend here at SportsEngine Motion. We recommend requiring autopay. This doesn't mean you, the admin, can't go take that Johnson family off of autopay for whatever reason, but we do recommend that you require autopay. It's 2023. People are used to that monthly subscription type of payment, right? That's how their fitness gym works. That's how their phone bill works, their streaming services. So they're used to just this auto pay method. And then we also recommend do not have these checked. That means that Johnson family can't go remove a credit card or a bank account from file. You, the admin, can remove it. You guys can delete something. They just can't delete a card. They could go update a card. I got a new one. I got a better rewards one, right? They can go add a new card and choose that one as their preference. They just can't delete a card. So this is just a safety method for you guys to make sure someone doesn't delete a card and then they're not paying you and then they just stop coming, right? So this is just a secure thing for you to make sure that you guys are getting paid for tuition. Next ones are real fast, notifications. All these top ones are for your parents and guardians. Just go double check what you have in there and pick what would be best for your organization for emails for them to get. This bottom one down here is for you guys, the admins. If for daily financial summaries, you can have all admins get it or just pick 1 or 2. So you could go like this and just pick a particular admin to get that email as well. I do not want that because this is a fake site, so I don't want to get emails about it. Non-billing periods, we did build during the beginning of COVID time. So if you do have something in your organization that you need to shut down all charges moving forward, make sure you talk to an account manager right away, the support team right away, so we can help you best assess what the goal is and see if this non-billing period would be right for you. And tax rates, I am going to skip over. If you do need to charge tax at your organization on tuition and stuff, again, get in touch with your account manager so we can get this flipped on so it can automatically happen. All right, so I'm going to take a quick sip of water. You guys let me know if there's any questions about those settings that we need to go through again. Someone asked me if there's a limit on charge categories. No, there is no limit. You can have as many categories as you want. I usually say 10 to 12 is kind of a sweet spot, but again, you can get really specific in this stuff. It could be makeup, bows, competition top, competition bottom, right? I mean, you can get very, very specific, or you can do it a little bit more generic, like competitive tuition, or even just like monthly tuition, which looks like it's not on here, right? In this case, Minneapolis, right? So you can be very generic or get very specific. All right, so now that we've gone through our settings, let's look through the different reports available for you guys before we start diving into this billing overview page. The billing overview page has so much, so I like to save it for you. The charge category report. So what this is doing, again, all of our reports always default to these last 30 days. It is a rolling 30 days. So in this case, it's September 19th through October 19th. You can switch that timeline to whatever you need to. And then let's just switch it to the last 90 days and you're going to hit generate report. So what it's showing you is in each charge category that we've created, what was charged, what was credited, what was paid, right? So you can get balances and stuff for each category. Again, a way for you to track how you are bringing money into your business. All right, the payment, also, by the way, for reconciling, mine doesn't have any payouts, but you can double check the payouts right back to which categories they are. Your payment summary tab, this is by account. Again, last 30 days. So you can see the different accounts. And again, what was brought in, this particular website does not accept credit cards. As you see, my SE payment setup is still over here. So again, what cash, ACH, check payments you brought in and stuff by account. Your account charge summary is kind of bringing these last two together. So it's bringing by category, by account. So if you do want to double check, all right, I want to know everyone who's paid. I'm just going to check both of these because I don't know which one it is, and I'm going to hit generate report again in the last 30 days. So I want to double check who had, maybe I issued a uniform fee to, or a recital, showcase fee or something to. You can go double check in here. And when you pick a certain category, it will only pull that particular thing. Again, you have your date range. You can search by account if you need to. But again, a really nice, fast way to double check if an account has had a charge within a certain category. Your expiring credit cards, mine, when I hit it, is going to have nothing because nobody has a card on file. This will show you these different options so you can get ahead of if people do need to get new cards on file because they're expiring. Your billing simulation. Okay, so I am going to push this out to the 5th because you remember that was my date, and I'm going to hit perform simulation. The bigger you guys are, the longer this report does take to run. So what this is doing is from today, October 19th, through the date I chose, November 5th, it is looking at how many new chargers are being issued, if any payments are being done, and what would be overdue. So in this case, I have 47 accounts with a balance of like $10,000. 8,000 of that is overdue between today and November 5th. There's $1,700 in new charges, but you see I have $0 in payments. This $0 in payments is because nobody has a credit card on file, so it assumes I'm not collecting that money. So if everyone does have a card on file, your simulated charges and payments should line up. There are some slight differences, like if I push this out to November 17th or something, and right, there's additional things that were maybe added, anyway, These things should line up over here, again, depending on when due dates and stuff are set for things. So if I have charges being added on November 15th, but they're not due till November 20th, right? My charges would be over my payments because it's not simulating that payment needs to be collected yet. The other really nice thing is you can click on people's accounts. So I can come in and see, okay, there's this new charge being added on with this due date and stuff. So you can come double check again what the charges and payments would be for each account. I always recommend doing this anytime you have a season change, new session or something, just to assure that people are getting charged the right amounts, they're in the right classes, discounting or supplying all of that. It's really good to do, at least with new registration cycles, but I usually recommend doing it before the first of the month every year anyway, just to make sure that next month is looking good. All right, so I hit the little arrow at the top so I could see additional reports. My overdue charge summary is telling me I have 18 accounts that are overdue. This is what the amount that total is overdue, and then a breakdown within that date range. Another way for you to stay on top of who is overdue and how overdue they are. Discount coupon report. I don't think mine shows anything because, again, I don't really have that many registrations, but what it would do is show you, let's switch this to lifetime so we can see some stuff. Okay, so it's showing multi-athlete discounts. This is how much these families received off in a multi-athlete discount. This is how much they've received off in a multi-class discount, totaling this amount. I, again, also think this is a good one to double check just because discounting is so nice, right? I mean, rewarding those families in multiple classes that have multiple kids. But again, make sure you're on top of this so you guys can adjust discounting appropriately. Maybe it needs to be a little higher, maybe the discounting needs to be a little bit less. But again, a really good way to come look at how much was applied in discounts in that particular range that you have chosen. And then the last one is the unapplied credit payment report. This is everyone who has some sort of credit or overpayment that has not been used on their account yet. So again, it's a way to see who has any unapplied credit or payments. Quickly, just those, right, in this case, 30 accounts that have like a negative balance with me. Yes, you can click into these accounts. The question was just like on the billing simulation, yes, you can click on these different accounts and see and get directly to their family ledgers. Awesome. Okay, let's make our way back to the billing overview. So again, this is the page that you guys should be landing on every time you get to Billing Manager. And this is truly where you're going to be spending most of your time, right? Billing setup, come check out once in a while. Reporting, again, when you're trying to deep dive into your guys' information. But this is where you're going to be living. First things first, you can search by child or athlete name in here. You see when I type in Molly Driscoll pops up under here, right? These smaller names are your athletes. So if you can't remember parent and guardian name, but you at least remember athlete name, you can search by that. If you're a big organization, I really like the search, so you don't have to scroll all the time. There is additional things in here to help you guys all the time too. Every time we pull up a ledger, every time you're here, this defaults to the last 30 days. Again, when we get into a ledger, you'll see how switching this is important. But you can look quickly who has failed payments, who does not have failed payments, right? So come double check these statuses, who has electronic payments on file and who doesn't, who has a balance, negative, who's without a balance. Right, so I have 4 accounts sitting at $0. They're all good to go. And again, overdues, who has overdue charges and doesn't. You can have multiple of these on at a time. Right, if I choose the electronic, no one will show, right? So again, you can keep customizing these things to get to what you want. Let's clear all these up because I'm gonna, show you again a way you can be doing this. So, and also in your customized filters, there is this auto pay in here, which I do really like, right? See who does not have auto pay on. But what you're really going to want to focus on too is you can create these reports by program, by team, by class that you need to. So let's say I'm picking gymnastics competitive and then my team number 3, and I hit apply. My 47 accounts goes down to 6. So with that report that I created, I now have 6 accounts. What I can do too now is hit this save button and I can name it Team 3. And now I have a saved report right here that I can quickly get to without hitting any of those filters or drop downs again. So you can save any report you want. These reports are always dynamic. So if I had another family register to Team 3, they would automatically jump into this report. Or if Ryan or Molly here leaves, right, and they unenroll, they would automatically jump out. So saving these reports is great because it's always going to be dynamic. You can make any report you want as your default. And then when you make a report, you, the admin, is the only one that can see that report. So if you want to share it with other orgs, other admins, come in here. And again, you can come share that with another admin. So when they log in, they would have it in their dropdown. Okay. And then again, like, right, we can jump over to everyone who does not have auto pay. So I'm jumping back to all 47 people, but quick ways for you guys to save the information you need to be able to do things like, hey, I want to just email this team. So I can send them an SMS. I can email them their current billing statements. I can email them their payment setup so they can go put a credit card on file. Custom email for whatever you want. And then here are a couple preview things for like a payment setup. Again, hello username, right? Here's the link that you click on to go put that card on file. The thing I really like about using these reports for, though, is this action button. So I can export their statements, I can export this to Excel, but these are the ones I want to highlight. You can bulk post a charge. So let's say this team made nationals or something, and that wasn't in their initial billing. I can go bulk post a charge to everybody on the team. I can bulk post a payment. If you do this, it is doing credit card only. I don't have the option to do cash or check, but I can bulk post a payment. Or I could bulk post a credit. Let's say a competition we were going to got canceled, or maybe everybody in Saturday we had to actually cancel for weather or something, so I want to give a credit to. So you do have the option to bulk post charges, payments, and credits. Your question is probably going to be, why can't I do refunds? So let's compare this to when, again, you're going to Target and they want to know exactly which item you're returning, right? They want to see that exact line item, that exact payment. That's how banks work. So you do need to pick the exact payment and line item that is being refunded. So you just cannot do that in bulk. All refunds do have to go one at a time. But let's bulk post a charge really quick just so we can see how this works. Let's say it's nationals. We did so great, right? Nationals. The type is going to be a charge. We want to make sure we pick the right charge category. And we're going to put that amount in. It's a really cheap nationals. It's only $10. You see right here, my due date is defaulting to the next month on the 5th because of that due plan we have selected. So again, you can come edit this. I don't need this due till the end of November. So right here, if I hit post charges, everyone, all these 6 accounts will have a $10 charge added to their account. If I choose to do this, it would also run the payment at the same time. In this case, again, won't work. No one has a card on file, so no point. So we'll just hit post charges. Now all 6 accounts had that $10 charge added to their account automatically. Can you skip some? Okay, so the question is, sorry, I had to read the question. It's a twofold question. One, if Ryan and Molly are on the team, it did only, we'll click in it. See, it only posted the charge once. So it only does the bulk action per account, not per member. So if there is a situation that a family has 2 kids and you're trying to bulk something, you would have to go in and do that family again. It does not do it by member, only by account. And then question 2 is, what if you wanted to skip somebody? Yes, all you do is uncheck that box and do your same action. Okay, we know how to make reports. We've looked at the different filters. Let's look at what a family ledger would look like. So this is my parent account. So we will reference this in the mobile app and stuff in a little bit too. But parent account, so first things first. You can use this little gear icon to get over to the account details, export them a statement. get right to their payment setup or simulate their own billing. So just like we ran that simulation for the whole organization, I can run one per family. So again, I can come see what's happening between today and I picked 11:30. So every charge and stuff that's happening between those dates. So again, always a good reference too, to be able to do it by family. Again, these ones are going to bring you straight over to that account. So if I go to payment setup, right, I can look at everything. I can view the activity log to see credit card updates, changes, all of that. Or again, what classes they're enrolled in, right? So that button will quickly get you over to things so you can do things like double check their payment plans and stuff. Okay, then just like before, we do have options. We can customize filters if we need to, right? We can switch the last date range. So this is what I wanted to say too, is if you are not seeing a charge, a payment, a credit, something that you think should be seen, make sure you double check this first. Usually, switch to last 90 days. It's most likely, past that month. So again, you can go see additional things that have happened. Oops, didn't mean to click that, so sorry. Again, you can look at the types, what kind of fees they were, right? We have statuses. And then again, you can search by category if you want to within just that account. So that's kind of like that account charge summary, right? That we could look at the whole organization. This is just on an account level. Does it change? The question, does it change past charges if you change it? I don't know if I quite understand that question. So if you can get a little bit more specific, very happy to answer that. I do have a question in here. What if a family has 2 kids and they stopped one and join under a different program? Do they enter them again? That would be, you're probably just moving the student from one class to another. They do not want to make a second profile for that kid. They can use the same profile. You just have to unenroll and re-enroll. I'll show you a quick tip for that a little bit later. But let's keep looking at how you can read this family ledger. So first things, charges, invoices are always in yellow, payments are always in blue, credits are this minty green color. And then if there are refunds, which I don't see any on here, it'd be red. So it is color coded. The titles here, you see this is how payment plan items are made, charges and stuff are made. So I titled this Nationals. If we went and looked at Team 3, right, this Team 3 is what the class they're enrolled in. Class tuition is the payment plan line item, and then what student it is. We get to see the date the charge was issued and what its particular due date would be. The due date flips to red and the balance if it is overdue. So we'll see right here, this like point of sale purchase that I did yesterday is not overdue yet because it's not due till next month on the 5th. And same with this Nationals, right? They're black. A few other things in here, if you click on the blue words of stuff, like if I click on this on-demand check payment, I do get to see what the check number is. If it's a credit card, it'll say credit card number, or it's a credit card and it had the last 4 digits. But you also get to see which charges were associated back to this payment of $235. So you do get additional insight. And again, let's just look at this one. This team fee, right? So you see right here, the amount issued was 100, but I still 50 overdue. So if I went and clicked on this line item, right, it does show me again which payment it's associated with. So that, again, I can see on 1019, that payment was associated back to this charge. So when you click on the different things, you do have additional insight on what things went for, right? What payments went towards what charges, credits, etc. Okay, so if no payments, credits, or anything are associated back to a charge, you do have an option to get this big red delete button. So as long as a payment or a credit or anything has not touched that particular charge, you can hit delete. So I'll show you this one right here. If I click on this one, right, because $50 of it has been paid, I do not have a big red delete button. So if you do not see a big red delete button, there's no option to get rid of it. Okay. In this case too, I can't make any edits to the amount and everything due to it because again, payments have been issued to it. But oops, I want to click this one. But what I could do, again, I could go edit the due date for something. I could say, actually, this is only $80. So again, if no payments or credits have been attached to a particular charge, you can make edits to it. Okay, so now let's see how this one switched over to black because we changed the due date and stuff. Same goes for credits, right? I mean, you can go delete a credit at any time and it would remove all of these credits towards all these charges. They would go back to overdue. You do have the option to delete cash and check payments. I don't recommend that. That's really messing with your financials. You do have that option. You don't have an option to delete a credit card payment at all, right? You can't just delete it. It's electronic. It happened that way. Oh, and you cannot delete a late fee. So if I have any late fees, I probably turned it off so long ago. There's no options ever to delete a late fee. Like I said, you'll never have a big red button. Yep, no late fees. So in that case, again, you'd have to issue a credit. So let's just pretend I do have a late fee credit. Make sure you pick the charge category that you want it to be for. And you can put in a whole amount, right? Like maybe I do want to say it's just $677 because that's what I owe. You see these auto filled in to the exact amount of the balance. But you can do this with payments too. You can say, actually, I'm just crediting this one and I'm crediting $5 of this one. So you can pick and choose how your credits or cash and check payment, credit card payments, actually all of it is getting applied. You can pick the exact line item and how much is due. So when I hit credit, late fee credit, $55. If I click on it, again, it's going to tell me which two charges that credit was issued towards. All right, one more thing under here. If we click on, we're going to do a refund. So I'm just going to click this payment and you hit your refund button. So this is going to be the same even if it's a credit card payment, right? You're going to hit your refund button. It's going to ask you, do you want to do a full refund? So for that, a full amount of $235, is that what's going back? And then you want to issue a credit for this refund. You're going to hit this 99.9% of the time. What this is doing is the refund is zeroing out the payment, and this credit is also zeroing out those charges. If I don't do this, what it's doing, you see my balance switch down here, it is telling the system, actually, this family still owes me this money in the future. I'm just giving them a refund for this initial payment, but they are going to pay me this money again in the future for those charges. That does happen once in a while, right? A payment ran by accident. They need to pay, they're going to try to work some of it off before payment is submitted, or, right, they, for whatever reason, need to put it on a different credit card. You can do that. But again, 99.9% of the time, make sure you hit this button. You also have the option to do a partial refund. So this is what I was saying at Target too, right? They need to know exactly which line item is being refunded. So you can click the line item and the amount. So maybe again, only $55 of this one is being refunded and $10 of this top one. So you can pick the line items. You can pick the amount by choosing partial refund. What you don't see on here is it is a credit card payment, there's another box. I believe it's usually right below that says skip electronic processing. We don't recommend that ever. If you do that, it will not go back onto their credit card. You would have to issue them a cash or check payment. So if you do choose that, again, the only way for them to get a refund is to give them cash or check back. So let's hit process refund here. So now you see with this payment, I also have a refund associated back to, right, the charges. Refund got added on. You see how much was refunded. And when I hit close, now I have my reddish refund, right? This credit, again, is now talking back to the charges of what the family doesn't owe me, feels charges anymore, and so forth. So I'm going to pause again, just make sure we don't have any questions about refunds. There is a limit how far in the past you can do refund. I think it's 120 days. So kind of like a store, right? You have that 90 to 120 days to come do the refund. That is a credit card type of policy. So if it is past that, you cannot issue back onto a credit card. So again, you could do things like issue a credit to that family. You could give them cash or check. You just can't refund via credit card. We also recommend here, if at all possible, give a credit to someone over a refund, just because, again, thank you. Sometimes you go to the store and they say, we can't give you your money back, but we can give you this gift card, right? That's kind of like what the credit is going to be doing. Put that credit on their account. So next time they go register for something with you guys, maybe it's a parents' night out or something, right? That credit will automatically get eaten up at registration. So it's just a little less funds going back and forth. All right, so with the question about if one kid stopped and wanted to join a different program, I just wanted to show you we always have these need help with billing, right? How to issue a refund, how to issue credits, billing setup. But in that case with like the move a student, there should be one here under classes. Well, remove a member from a class, right? So that's how you can unenroll. Looks like we don't have a move one there yet. So I would say put it here, move an athlete to a different class, and then you can follow the instructions on how to move a student from class 1 to class 2, program 1 to program 2. One thing to know, just because I have gotten this question a couple times recently, when you move a student from, let's say, team 3 to team 2, what it's essentially doing is canceling this registration and then enrolling them into team 2. So any fees that would be due at the beginning for that new enrollment, it does issue those charges. It doesn't look what it's been paid in the past. It doesn't look at the price difference or anything like that. So if, you can always waive any fee you need to right at registration, and then, issue charges or credits manually if you need to. But yeah, I would say first try those walkthroughs. I think they're so helpful. By the way, we have tons of billing ones too, right? And then of course our support team available 6 days a week that you can always start chats with them or schedule a call too. Okay, so, clarification on that question. If it's a totally different program, if it's a totally different website, they just need to make an account on that new website. We always recommend that they use the same login instructions, but essentially they're 100%, they don't have anything to do with each other. So if it is truly two different programs, two different organizations, unenroll them from the first website, have them create that account on the second website, and move forward that way. All right, so again, type any of those billing questions that you guys have back in there that I missed, but what we're gonna do is, let's actually go back to Billing Manager here. And I'm gonna pull over my phone. Okay, so phone, right? Great thing is my account, admin account, also has kids attached. So parents and guardians do see this. I will log out so you can see exactly what a parent sees too, but it's telling, again, the parent, put a card on file. You don't have one on file, put one on file, that big green button. You can see parents can also simulate their own billing, and they can go straight to their own billing summary too. But for you guys, the admins, you get a snapshot of your org finances, right? What's happened in the last 30 days, payments, October versus September, right? I can do a billing simulation and I can get to Billing Manager. So I can either click on that button or I can go to Membership and Billing Manager this way. So now we should see numbers lining up, right? That's 6217, yep, okay. And my overdue, yep, my 8,000 match up. What gets cool in here is I still have my last 30 days filter. I can sort, right? I can add other, I clicked it, I swear. Right here are my blue customized filters. So you can still do all of this right from your phone, right? What I want to view. So here's my no auto pay in my team 3 that we created. So if I go back to team 3, right, I can still do a select all, and you see down at the bottom now I have a green email statement, right, message them. I have bulk actions that I can do from here. Or, right, you can click on a particular account, like Justin here, I can do a charge, a payment, or a credit right on their account, or I could do a deep dive into it. If I click right on Justin's name, I'll see that nationals charge we added and his team 3 tuitions that we've added for Tommy recently. Okay. And again, in here, you see I have a simulate billing at the top. I have the charge payment credit. I still have filters. So you can do all of this right from your phone as well, which is just so fantastic. I think it makes your life so easy. But let's log out really quick and log in as a parent and guardians, just so you can see again what they are looking at. Let's go back to K's Gymnastics. All right. So if we were to go look at this Driscoll account here, I'll pull the phone back up, sorry. Okay. Some of it should be matching, right? Here we go. Okay, balance 622, right in that top right corner, right? And then you see on my phone, balance 622, the overdues are matching and everything. So again, parent and guardian, this is what they're seeing. They can simulate their billing, view their summary, add their card on file. So if I were to click that, again, it's telling a parent, here's how you can go add your credit card. But if I went to my billing summary, I should see that family ledger, the credits we've added, the refunds, all of that right from here. So again, you see I have a big green button to go add a credit card on file or simulate the billing out. So you see when I click make a payment, I can again, since if you remember, we have that setting set to full control. So a parent can again come in here and choose, all right, I want to pay $7. I want to pay $80 of this, right? So they again can come choose how much they're paying for particular things. And if I had a credit card, right, now it's going to say, all right, add your credit card to go make that payment. So parents and guardians also have full control of their finances right from their phone, which we know is so helpful because they are so busy. But just because you guys probably haven't seen a lot of this from what parents see, right? Providing feedback, which is going to be Google reviews and stuff for you guys, for your business, not SportsEngine Motion, your business. The social feed. So if you are posting things, summer camp registration, right? This is what we did this competition. This is the choreography from class or something, right? Social feed updates. Any videos attached to that student. You can see upcoming sessions for Ryan and Molly here. It's telling me to go register for things. My sizing has been completed because I'm using the uniforms costumes module. And then again, attendance, doing really bad, not taking any attendance for my fake website. So parents, again, have lots of additional insight on stuff right from their phone as well. All right, move that back over. What other questions you guys have in here? Right, we have about 15 minutes left, so very happy to stay on and answer everything additional you guys have. Otherwise, that does conclude today's billing webinar. So I want to thank you so much for joining us. This will automatically be emailed out in the coming days, so you will be able to save it and give it up over to other admins and stuff as well within your organization. So don't worry about that. But any additional questions, again, please type in that question box so we can get it answered for you. Otherwise, again, thank you so much, and I hope you have a great Thursday.